Hello there. Welcome to your first drum lesson. My name is Fabrizio, presenting through ViBO's music school. Today I'll be walking you through some very basic terminology for your drum kit, as well as helping you start your very first beat. Let's go. So, I have in front of me the essentials of every drum kit. Without one of these three components, you'd probably have a tough time playing the drums. So I'm just going to move this out of the way and get rid of my handy dandy napkin. I use that because I'm playing drums indoors. It helps mute the snare a little bit. This thing is usually really loud without it, so you don't really have to do it, but it's good if you're playing indoors. Let's start with the snare. So the snare is a very tight staccato drum with a very bright natural ping. It consists of two skins on the top and on the bottom. So I want to show you the snares themselves. They're these metal wires. They are held together by tension through these strings and these metal mechanisms on the side. They're used for tightening the snare, and the tighter you make it, the higher pitched and more staccato the snare is going to sound. With the napkin, just so you can hear the difference. Let's move over here. This is our hi-hats. This is kind of the backbone for beginning drummers. It's composed of two cymbals. This top one is held together by a tightening mechanism known as the clutch. You can tighten it here so that the top hi-hat gets suspended on this stand. There's another cymbal right here, and underneath it the hardware, the foot pedal, and hi-hat stand. So when you tighten the clutch around the stand, you can create a gap between the top and bottom cymbals. The bigger the gap, the harder it is to keep them together, but the more dynamic range you'll be able to get out of it. And finally, this is a bass drum or kick drum. The name changes depending on who your teacher was, but on this side of the drum we have a mallet, usually made out of cotton, sometimes made out of wood, and a foot pedal that sends the mallet into the skin. So this is essentially a really low-tuned tom. It's supposed to give a very low resonant sound that's going to cut through a lot of the mix of the drums. As you can hear, there's a very high-pitched sound. The snare, depending on how you tune it, can be the same, but with a low muting it can hit a nice medium resonance, and then the low end. So low, medium, high. So let's get you started on working on your first drum beat. Don't be worried, nothing to be scared about. This is going to be nice and easy. Let's have some fun with it. Bring your right hand over to the hi-hat. We're going to just play some eighth notes. Now if you don't know what an eighth note is, that's okay. I'll try to give you a really brief explanation. At the beginning of the video I was counting in before I started playing drums. You probably heard this in songs, you know, some drummer or an artist going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the song starts. That's setting the tempo. So quarter notes are kind of the easiest way for people to have a reference on like the feeling of a song. So quarter notes, and then eighth notes are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. An easy way to differ quarter notes and eighth notes is the way you count them out loud. So for quarter notes, I like to just count 1, 2, 3, 4. For eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that helps a lot. So you're going to bring those eighth notes over to the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to add some bass drum. It's going to be on beats 1 and 3. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Very nice. Remember to stay relaxed and not overthink anything. I'm going to add the snare. To expand on the beat a little bit, it's going to be on beats 2 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, There you go. That's your very first beat. You can expand off of this, add your own little spice and flares, or you can come back and I can help you learn just a little bit more.